Can you believe it? It's the final weekend of Premier League football this season. Following the midweek round, the Champions League and relegation spots have all but been decided, so it might all be about form and pride going into the final round of fixtures. Here's this week's Euro Fantasy League preview. Hello, I am your host Nicholas Carroll, ready to take you through the biggest Premier League clashes for one final time, in addition of course to Serie A and La Liga, covering some of the fantasy considerations in what is the final weeks of competition. We start off in the Premier League, where Chelsea have been finishing the season strong. However, a midweek hiccup against Huddersfield may just have cost them a Champions League qualification spot. If they're any hope now, they need to rely on Liverpool losing to Brighton and of course defeating Newcastle this weekend. United have seemingly clocked off for the season with not too much to play for, and resultingly they've lost their last 4 league matches. Last weekend, Olivier Giroud enjoyed a 4th consecutive starting position and rewarded his coach with his 3rd league goal since his winter transfer. With Alvaro Morata returning to the squad and starting midweek, Giroud would be favourite to finish the season off in the first 11. Meanwhile, Tottenham are fresh from securing their top 4 position with the midweek win over Newcastle, making amends for last weekend's 1-0 loss to the now relegated West Bromwich Albion, though their form still remains relatively underwhelming. Spurs fans themselves will admit that they were lucky to escape with the win over Newcastle, Harry Kane scoring their only goal with Hugo Lloris earning a 15th clean sheet for the season. Leicester are another team which had seemingly lost their motivation this season and were winless in 5 matches prior to their midweek victory over Arsenal. The Foxes scored their first goal in 4 games, with Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez managing to find themselves back on the scoreboard before the end of the season. Down the bottom of the table, Huddersfield secured their Premier League safety for next season with a massive 1-1 draw away to Chelsea. It was Laurent Depoitre who grabbed the all-important goal, and with the home match this weekend, don't be surprised to see the players already well into celebration mode. The Gunners, despite balancing Europa League commitments, were able to inflict a brutal 5-0 defeat on Burnley last weekend, where Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette started and scored in Arsene Wenger's last home match in charge, the former bagging a brace. The 2 strikers were the stars of the day, bagging an assist each and proving their future manager that they can in fact play in the same 11. Another big winner last weekend was Hector Bellerin, bagging 2 assists and 5 clean sheet points for a 9-point return. Though the positives out of the match were short-lived, following a 3-1 loss to Leicester on Wednesday, Aubameyang on the scoresheet again, though unable to help end their awful 2018 away record. In Serie A, Roma play host to this season's soon-to-be crowned champions Juventus. While the Giallorossi's Champions League qualification spot is just about assured, a result would make it certain. Though their form coming into the match would give them enough belief in their abilities to actually beat the Bianconeri off the back of 4 straight league wins. Last week was Alisson's 16th clean sheet of the season, keeping him well and truly on top of the club's EFL standings. Edin Dzeko showed his continued importance with an assist for Cengiz Under, who returned to the starting lineup with a goal, providing plenty of promise for next season. While Juve's defence hasn't returned too much of late, their attack continues to do their job, the star over the past month being Douglas Costa, who once again came on from the bench to change the game against Bologna with 2 assists and almost going on to score a ridiculous Rabona. In the last 6 matches, he's registered 6 assists and 2 goals in limited minutes, making him a big player of interest for next season's fantasy teams. Over in La Liga, Getafe has finished the season off strongly with 4 wins from their last 5, though they look set just to miss out on Europa League qualification, irrelevant of how this weekend's match against Atletico Madrid goes. They'll still be keen to finish the season on a high though, and they'll be looking at their defence to continue their form, which has seen them pick up 3 clean sheets from the last 6 matches. Unsurprisingly, Vicente Guaita has benefited most in goal and might back himself to keep a potentially weakened opposition scoreless this weekend. Meanwhile, Atletico have the motivation of holding on to second position and finishing ahead of city rivals Real Madrid, though going into the match they've won just one of their last 4 league matches despite making the Europa League final. Despite the inconsistent form of late, we stay with the goalkeepers for this fixture and the rock-solid Jan Oblak, who remains in this season's top 3 EFL scorers across all European leagues. Though with the Europa final just 4 days after this clash, you wouldn't be surprised to see their biggest outfield stars such as Antoine Griezmann rested to help secure a major European trophy this season. That's it from me though. As always, if you're after more fantasy discussion, make sure you have tuned in to the Euro Fantasy League podcast featuring Jamie McLean and Dave Fenwick. Links are below. Or for all your other football and fantasy news, head over to eurofantasyleague.com. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the final weekend of Premier League football and of course, good luck with your teams.